And I would like to invite Professor Kriti Ramamritan, Professor at Computer Science and Engineering Department, and the Head of Center of Urban Science and Engineering Department at IIT Bombay. I would also like to invite Chakravarti Sir, Head of Department, Industrial Design Center, IIT Bombay, Professor Devang Kakkar, Director of IIT Bombay, Dr. Sudarshan Iyengar, PRK Murthy Sir, and Ajay Kumar Bhatt Sir on the stage. I request Kriti Sir to welcome our participants and dignitaries on and off the desk.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me in the back? Okay. This is always a tough session to have soon after lunch because the speakers are full in terms of their food and all that, and also the listeners are half asleep. So we'll have to wake you all up. And this the students will do, I promise. We have about 9 presentations that you will see from both the speakers on the dais as well as the students who have won awards. And this will be enough excitement for you for an afternoon that you cannot do anything but listen carefully and absorb everything that comes your way. Because we're going to talk about the hackathon. You're going to hear about the hackathon that's happened in the last 1 week, to be precise, at IIT Bombay. And the genesis of this was about 2 months ago when the Make in India event, which you're part of now, to create a hackathon format and develop a way by which to identify people, students in particular, who had excellent ideas to take it to the next logical step of productization and so on. So we accepted that and sent a call for proposals which basically said, you wish your city looked better and was greener, offered its citizens more opportunities for a better life. What if you were given this chance to make your city all this and more? And we were overwhelmed with the response. We got about 150 responses from across the country and beyond. And that is what you're going to see today, the culmination of that process, which started with 150 proposals. Finally, we'll have 2 winners from 3 areas, water, transportation, and energy, being displayed in front of you. There's also a set of posters in the foyer area there where you can see details. You can talk to the people who developed these ideas and get to know more. So here we are, looking at these 3 themes, water, transportation, and energy. There are a lot more that one needs to worry about in the context of urban rejuvenation. But these 3 is the focus for our hackathon this year. And what we have done is the first thing we did was to select 10 teams from each of the 3 areas, each team having about 2 to 4 students as part of the group. And some of them had a mentor from the parent institution. And they put together a proposal in the format that we had specified to them. This was scrutinized by a set of experts, mostly professors from IITs beyond IIT Bombay. And we chose these 10 teams. Some of these selections, some of the choices that we made went beyond the IITs to our satisfaction. And what you'll see today is that there's a lot of exciting work and thoughts occurring in the minds of students and the youth at large in places beyond IITs, which is a very heartening situation. And what we did was to give them not simply a starting point, but we also want to make the starting point as level as possible. So we had 3 days of Gyan in the form of prototyping and packaging, allowing the students who are already smart to become smarter, and also give them ideas on how to go from ideation to productization. And we also gave some mentorship as part of our ecosystem for the students to go beyond the next step to the position they are in today. So what you see today is a tangible artifact coming out of this process. And yesterday in the morning, we had a panel of judges from the 3 areas sit and listen to these 10 teams for about 3 hours, at the end of which they identified a winner and a runners-up. And we also had a show in the afternoon where the students participated in a display of their ideas, which was open to the public. And from that, we chose a popular winner in terms of how the public at large viewed a certain idea and a product. So we have 3 winners for each theme that we have identified as a result of this process. So when you see what the students have realized, have come up with, we notice immediately that the youth of this country are eager to wear the thinking hats, apply their knowledge to solve real-world problems, and convert their passion into action. So my feeling is it's our responsibility as elders to make sure that these ideas don't stay as ideas, but go naturally to the next step with the help of people like entrepreneurs who have already been through the process, people who can mentor them in the process, people who can give them the springboard from which they can become the large entrepreneurs that you want to create of tomorrow from just being students. So this is our goal, and hopefully we have achieved the starting point. Has been very, for me, satisfying, and for the students that you'll see presented for us, for the large audience, it's been a very happy trip in some sense, but also a trip which will hopefully become, will take them to places which they otherwise did not have a chance, perhaps. So with that, I would like to welcome all of you, especially our speakers on the dais, and would like to invite my director, the director of IIT Bombay, Professor Devang Kakkar, to give his opening remarks.
Professor Sudarshan Iyengar, Mr. P.R.K. Murthy, Mr. Ajay Kumar Bhatt, Professor Kriti Ramamritam, Professor B.K. Chakravarti, distinguished invitees in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all participants in the hackathon, many of whom are in the audience. Thank you so much for traveling to Bombay, working so hard for the 5 days that you were in the campus, putting your mind and heart into your problems, and coming up with really great projects. So congratulations, and thank you all for coming. I think each one of you did a great job. Of course, only a couple of teams from each of the 3 areas were recognized, but I know that this experience would have been very enriching for all of you, and I'm sure that you would have made many good friends through this experience. You know, there is another part of this hackathon, that is all the professors and students of the IITs who ran the hackathon. I'd like to put on record my sincere thanks. You know, it's one thing to solve a problem, but it's quite different to set reasonable problems that can be solved in 2 or 3 days to do all the logistics, provide support for making all the things that you did. So my thanks to all the faculty and students of the IITs who put this together. This was led by Professor Kriti Ramamritam and Professor B.K. Chakravarti, who are on the audience, or who are on the dais, but many others also participated, and a large number of PhD students participated in helping the teams. And there were faculty from all the IITs who are also participating in this process. You know, this hackathon is turning out to be a wonderful process for driving innovation, as it's written on the screen over here. As many of you know, hackathons really started from computer programming. That there was a problem to be solved, and then the computer programmers, also called hackers, would get together and then they would sit continuously for days on end to solve that problem. So this has been going on for many years in the field of computer programming, but now it has become extended to many other fields. And really, the key ingredients of a hackathon are that first, it is a competition, that there are many people in a certain area who are looking at different problems and maybe alternate solutions. And this type of competition releases a lot of creative energy. All those who are participating, they try and come up with great new ideas, and they would like to come up with an idea that is better than any of the other teams participating in this competition. And so as a result of this pressure, as a result of this concentrated effort, hackathons often come up with some very interesting ideas, some very interesting solutions. As many people say, there's a possibility of getting out-of-the-box solutions from hackathons. This particular hackathon, and I had a chance yesterday to go and look at each and every one of the projects, and I saw that there were many new, interesting, and non-obvious ideas that the students came up with in the short time that they had to participate. So I think overall, I felt very pleased with the effort and as you will see, some very unique things have been developed. Looking at the result, I'm quite convinced that this is a great way to generate innovations in a short time, and there is a possibility that some of these innovations could end up as being commercialized either through transfer to some industry or as startups. And I think this is something I'd encourage all the participants in the hackathon to think about. You have come up with this idea, if you're passionate about it, whether you won a prize or not, please think if this idea can finally be put into practice. Another very useful aspect of the hackathon is that it's a great way of learning about issues. The three topics that were chosen, water, energy, and transportation, are really very pressing problems of all our cities, all our urban concentrated areas. And really, all of us need to think of solutions, different kinds of solutions, some technological and some not. And through this hackathon, I'm sure that all the teams participating would have been made aware of what are the issues in these important areas, what are some of the constraints, and what are some of the tools that we can use to start addressing these problems. So I hope that in addition to everything else, that the hackathon experience has also been a learning experience for all of you. I am quite looking forward to the presentations, as I'm sure everybody else in this audience is. I thank all of you who have come here, and I hope that what you learn about this hackathon can be replicated in other areas as well as in other institutions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As you all know, that Make in India Hackathon 2016 was hosted by IIT Bombay this year, and participants from all over the country and abroad have participated in it and have been working really hard to make this work. So we have a video of the past 1 week. We'll just have a short glimpse of it. And now the moment that all the participants have been waiting for, we are going to have the prize distribution ceremony. But before that, we'll have the presentations. So we'll start with the water theme. So the top 2 teams that were selected will be presenting here. Team 1 is Nikhil Bharadwaj from GIET Jodhpur and Pranav Bharadwaj from NLU Assam. I request you guys to come on the stage and give your presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Since the lady has already introduced that we are here as a winner and we will be giving a presentation on the theme Mobilu. This is our product. He is Pranav Bhardwaj and I am Nikhil Bhardwaj. And this is our PPT. So, we have a story to tell you all. Actually, there is a road behind our society which connects to highways. So on that road, most of the slums are there. Means people live in a group of families over there in segregated, thing. So they live there, and every morning.
Is it closer to you and speak?
Okay. Yes, sir. Every morning they come and defecate just behind our society. So the people from our society actually quarrel with them and say ki you shouldn't do this thing over here. Sometimes the things even go violent. So one day we went to them and asked why you do this. So they said कि साहब अगर मजबूरी नहीं हो तो हमें भी हमारी इज्जत लुटाने में कोई मज़ा नहीं आता. So this actually struck us. And we thought, ki, why not to come up with something? So we went to the municipal corporation of our city and said, ki, why don't you build a toilet there on that road, a public toilet maybe. So they said they don't have any land on that entire stretch of road. So we thought, okay, fine, let's do something. We will come up with the mobile toilets, toilets that move. So we were thinking on it, and then we came up with something like this. This is a very basic drawing of what we want. The solution's name is Mobilu. So it will be having everything. The overhead tanks will be having the water. The septic tanks would be collecting the waste. There will be a proper ventilation system and filtration unit even. And this is what we thought. And then we'll just tell you that why we want the toilets to be mobile. The reason is so that they can reach anywhere. Like be it some slum or maybe some market, or maybe in case of disaster when there are no toilets, they can reach there. So this is our strategy. Basically, we believe that one toilet can serve different places at different times. See, the people in the slums are basically in the slums only up to 9:30 in the morning. Then they leave. Then they leave for work. After that, the toilets are free. So we can take it to some place which is densely populated, like a market or a railway station or some school, maybe. And then again, after 5:30, they can reach back. They can be taken back to the slums. So in this way, one toilet can serve very many places. Now the challenges we faced were that conventional toilet seats actually take a lot of water. Like they take 15 to 20 liters of water in just one flush. And if we have constraints, like we just can't carry a lot of water with us on a mobile toilet. So we thought, ki, why not to come up with such kind of toilet seat which take very less water. And this is what our innovation is. Then we came up with this solution known as MOVETS. It is a kind of toilet seat which has 3 holes. And this segregates the waste. So here we use the human anatomy, the principles of human anatomy and physics. So when a person sits down in a squatting position, the urine falls ahead and the bowels falls behind him. So this is how we are segregating the urine and the bowels. But also we are separating the wastewater. We are not allowing the wastewater to fall either in the urine or the feces. So what we are doing is ki just when a person is done, means when he has relieved himself completely, he will be looking forward for water for anal cleansing. So what happens ki as soon as he takes out the bidet shower, means the shower for anal cleansing, what happens, it initiates means it triggers a motor behind that plank, and the plank starts rolling, and it actually covers the fecal pit. So when he washes his anal, the water doesn't fall into the fecal pit and also in the urinary pit. And in this way, the water is separated from the feces and the urine. So, all these three things are collected into three different tanks. But now the question arises why we are separating all the three things. What are we trying to do? So here is the thing. We consider human excreta as a great resource. We can extract out many things from human excreta. Like from the urine, we can make medicines for heart patients, for infertility, and even for the dogs. And these medicines are very costly if we buy it from the market, and this can be a sustainable thing for, means this can economically sustain our project. And then from the feces, we are making biogas, which can be further converted into bio-CNG, or maybe we can make electricity out of it by running the generators. And the wastewater. The wastewater, since it is separated from the feces and the urine, what happens, the fecal content in it is nearly 5%, means maximum 5%. So it can be very easily cleaned. So we have proposed that we will place a filtration unit on the truck itself, which would be very compact, and it will give us the water of purity levels like that of drinking water. So this water, we don't want to carry it through the entire stretch till the, means from the pace of, use to the place of our processing center. So what we can do is, in the way, wherever we find trees, we will treat this water, and this treated water will be given to the plants and the trees on the way. So in this way, we are, making something very sustainable and both economically and both in terms of nature. We are not giving anything out in the nature. We are utilizing it to the full extent, and we are also earning money out of it. In this way, we need not to charge some poor, because if we are asking the family of a poor to give us, like, say, 100 rupees per month for using the toilet, he won't come to our toilets, and he would prefer do it behind some bush or maybe something like open defecation thing. So this is what we are doing. And our aim is that with this project, we can overcome the problem of open defecation in urban India. That is, of course, a very big thing. But then if we have a will, we can do it. So, and in the end, we would like to say that we have developed this idea in India. It is meant for the problem of a very big issue that India faces, and and we will solve it in India. So that's it.
This is what we have done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil and Pranav. Now we have the second team under the water theme, Harsh Gupta and Nirbhay Firwani from Vivekanand Education Society's Institute of Technology.
A very good afternoon to everybody present here. I'm Harsh, and this is my colleague Nirbhay.
Hello.
Our hackathon idea is an automated irrigation system and prediction for crop growth and food production. We are used to hear the word smart. So what is smart? For answering this question, where do we go? We go to people, obviously. Now, what is the most important driving factor for people? Food. Who is going to provide it? Farmer. Next slide, please. So, when we hear the word smart, we think of a person with a lot of gadgets, with smartphones, smart iWatches, and other things. We never think that a farmer can be smart. So, our idea is to make the farmer smart. Now, what are the problems that are faced by the farmer in our country? Over-irrigation, under-irrigation is one of the most important problems. Then there is soil erosion, over-fertilization, and under-fertilization. So our idea is to solve the problem. We don't want farmer to even think of committing a suicide. We want to make him a very powerful system in our country. We want to make him realize that he is a very important part of our economy and he is making the country drive forward. Next slide, please. So this is the system that we are proposing. So first component is sensing. So we are sensing various parameters. We are taking in temperature, soil humidity, and other parameters on which crop depends. So we are sensing these parameters, and using that, we are controlling the irrigation system. And we are getting this data, and we are supplying this data for doing our data analysis. So we are doing data collection of data, then we are doing a predictive data analysis over it, and finally we are showing this to the common people in the form of a dashboard that is a website. And then finally we are sending farmers notifications regarding various cropping patterns and what different methods he should adopt to increase his yield in his farm.
Now, let's come to the next slide. This is the sequence diagram. Basically, the sequence in which the major entities will be taking place. So the first that you see is the crop system. The crop system is used to sense the data, and from that, it sends it to two major entities. That is the data analysis system and the sensor system. So now this is used by the data analysis system to make the predictions. After which, we send that processed data to the server, and from there to the farmer via real-time notifications. Now, every farmer does not have a smartphone, so we are using normal SMS system to send this. Next slide, please. Now, what is this predictive data analysis? It's basically the crop growth prediction and the yield prediction. This we are doing with the help of open source tools, one of which is R programming. And also, because of this predictive data analysis, we are able to show it on real-time dashboards and also give notifications. Next slide, please. Now, this is our complete dashboard. We have just captured two simple snapshots to make it simpler. The first snap that you see is of the survival of the crop. So it's basically showing the chance of survival of a particular crop. The next one that you see is basically we are dividing the crop growth into three phases. That is the growth phase, the germination phase, and the ripening phase. So it shows the three red bars basically show the failure of that crop in those three particular phases. Next. Now this is the prediction that we were able to obtain. The blue enlarged graph that you see is the prediction that we got from the first two cycles that we used as data. Next slide.
So now our solution is local because these patterns depend on local parameters. So our solution is local, but when we integrate this system into a global one, it is going to help the country in many ways. One of which is helping the government in formulating schemes, especially insurance schemes. So when there is harm to the crops, so that government can come up with better insurance schemes. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So the summary is we are first having a sensing system, then we have automated the irrigation system, then there is predictive data analysis, and finally notifications are sent to the farmers so that it increases his crop yield. Next slide, please. So conclusion is that our system is very cost effective, it is very less labor intensive, 60 to 65% reduction in water usage, and reduces soil erosion. Next slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Nirbhay. So now proceeding to the prize distribution, I invite Sudarshan Iyengar, sir. He is the Vice Chancellor of Gujarat Vidyapeeth, Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Sir has also been the Director of Center of Societal Studies, Surat, and Director of Gujarat Institute of Development and Research. His research is focused on natural resource development and management, people's institutions, and role of non-government organization in initiatives in societal development. Dr. Iyengar has been a member of the Environmental Economics Research Committee of the World Bank-supported National Project on Capacity Building in Environmental Economics. He has also chaired a subcommittee on monitoring and evaluation of the Watershed Development Program of the Government of Gujarat. Sir has authored 6 books and about more than 50 research articles. I invite Sir and our Director, Sir, to announce the results in the water theme and give away the prizes.
I pronounce both. Okay. The winners are Harsh Gupta and Nirbhay Ferwani. Runners up Nikhil Bharadwaj and Pranav Bharadwaj. Thank you.
Nikhil Bharadwaj and Pranav Bharadwaj. A big round of applause for the winners and the first runner-up. Congratulations. Now I'd like to request Sudarshan sir to address the gathering.
No, first of all, I once again congratulate Harsh, Nirbhay, and Nikhil and Pranav. First point that strikes to me is that we thought that the younger generations, which mostly live in urban areas or love urban areas, will think about the problems only of those. But the water saving innovative idea that has come up for crops is something that is really for people, for farmers who feed us. Maybe looking at our two young fellows who requires little more food, both of them are thin, so they must have thought that their reserves are going to still go down, so they require more food. So let us see how they can get more food, and they have tried it. It's wonderful. Well, I think the use of water, and of course you know that even today it is agriculture which requires maximum water of the total water resources. It's still about 80% water, the fresh water, that is used up for agriculture. All said and done, industrial and municipal requirements hover around 20%, although increasing very fast, but still agriculture is the main. And we have problem in water. So I think if farmers are able to know the kind of supply which should go to the crops at what stages, what two of our young persons, Harsh and Nirbhay, have done is to use the technology for the field level management. I think this is a very good innovation, and they actually are going a step further from what is already in practice, which is the drip irrigation. Actually, drip irrigation also is a similar device that is very much in practice, though capital intensive. The complementarity of drip irrigation, sprinkle irrigation with this technology is going to be of high order in the coming days, which I can clearly see. And maybe that some capital intensity can be brought down, because presently the problem with the drip irrigation is that small and marginal farmers are unable to afford it on their own. And if the governments withdraw subsidies on it, they cannot become viable. But by doing this knowledge-based water application, I think that small and marginal farmers also, now I see that in every village mobile is a common device which everybody has, and these young boys have thought that they don't require a smartphone and they will use the SMS technology, which is very, very wonderful. I think this team deserves fresh round of applause for what they have done, and we hope that they are able to put it to the world, at least India. Now, this is not only make in India, but this is also made in India. So I think we have to take pride in saying that we not only make it, but it's made in India. So not that others are going to come and make it in India, we ourselves will make it in India. So that is made in India. So let's applaud for that also and see that we are doing more and more of it, because that is sustainable. Made in India ultimately is going to be sustainable for people who live in India. Now, the second part is fascinating. It's shit and cleaning the shit. Wonderful. And I thought that these boys who have thought about it have a good idea. And I was trying to tell them, sell this. When this began, I thought, oh, what have my boys done? Sulabh already does this. And many municipal corporations have this moving toilets. But there came the innovation. Innovation is not having a mobile shit pot, which is there. I mean, mobile toilets are there. But the point is that the amount of mind that they have applied, that how they can collect different waste in different compartments, minimize the use of water, wastewater, and the wastewater which is generated has only a small part of the feces which can be cleaned up. And they, of course, young people are imaginative, and they also should imagine this and dream that there are trees. So let us not fail them. Let these urban areas also have some trees where my two friends can use that clean water to, water those plants. Otherwise, they will have to go back to rural areas to find trees for the water which was generated in urban area. So we promise ourselves that we will have enough trees so that they can use it. The only other point came to my mind was that why don't they circulate the same water back into their overhead tank? Because then it can go for longer. So it's only a recycling which they can think about. But otherwise, I think this is a good idea. And I'm sure when I was telling these people that, why don't you sell this idea to Sulabh? And I think it was my friend Nikhil who said that we are going to be competitors to Sulabh. And big hand for that. That is the spirit. They are going to become entrepreneurs as well. So I think that on water sector, these 4 young people have focused on shortage, which is real, and you can increase the supply only through ideas. When the total physical quantities or supplies are given, then you can only reuse, innovatively use the resource to reach more people. What our friend Mashelkar, scientist friend, would have said, I can see this is more from less for more. That is the kind of thing he promotes. And I think both these innovations are leading to that and hence deserve kudos. Thank you very much for calling me at this event. I'm not a technologist and I don't belong to any IIT, but I think these ideas fascinates everybody, and this is the way we are looking forward for the times to come in the 21st century. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have the energy theme presentations. So I request Team 1, Ashwin Gandhi and Saurabh Anand from IIT Kanpur to come up and present their project proposition.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Saurabh and he's Ashwin, and we are Team Zephyr from IIT Kanpur, and I'll let Ashwin start with the presentation. So.
Thank you, Saurabh. Good afternoon, everyone. So our project is on wind turbines for urban spaces. We wanted to get wind turbines into cities because and because the wind farms today, they're not efficient and they're not good enough. They're not giving us enough electricity that we need. So these are the problems that we are facing with the present day wind farms and the wind turbines that are there. There's a power transmission problem, efficiency, the turbine tower, you have to put up towers to put up the blades, and that's around 22% of the cost. And then the wind speeds are not good enough, and the turbines don't even turn to face the wind to harness energy from it. So these are the few problems. So we thought, why not? Now we have huge buildings coming up in most of the metros in India. So, so we were like, why not put up the turbines on the buildings itself and use it as a turbine car tower? So we looked into the current scenario. A lot of places in London and in US, people have started putting up turbines on buildings. The London one, which you can see on the slide, it's not even efficient. It doesn't work because I think they didn't look into the factors of, say, wind flow in the city and in the surrounding areas, which is why it's not working. The USA one is pretty much okay. It's a corner pay, some different kind of turbine that they have put up. Our solution is we are planning to do it in 4 phases. Phase 1 is where we are going to study the urban configurations, small little societies which have 25 to 30 buildings, and we're going to see the flow simulations. As you can see, we have done a CFD analysis of a 25 building cluster society. You can see the wind is. The red spots, which you can see, are the spots where the wind speeds have increased because of an effect called tunneling, when the wind goes through buildings, gaps. Phase 2, we plan to design turbines. The turbines that you can see on the slides, they were very old, which we designed about a year or two back, and they were not efficient. So we kept working, and the challenges we faced were stuff like changing obstacles, new buildings that come up in cities, turbulence that you find in the air because city landscapes are really, they're not good for wind flows. There are a lot of obstacles. And then wall reflection, the wind reflects from the wall, and you have wall friction contributes to a lot of turbulence in the city. So yeah, how did we design? So we used basic fundamental principles of aerodynamics to design a turbine. So one is Bernoulli's principle, where faster the airflow, the lower will be the pressure. And then we also used, we saw 4 effects, ground effect, canyon effect, reverse biplane interference. We saw all this happening when we tried to put up turbines in a city. And we tried exploiting all those effects, and then we thought, okay, what would happen when we put up these turbines in cities? Would people really buy it? So the problem was the social acceptance. Would you want to have turbines on your building which look really ugly? No. So we thought, why not make it more aesthetic and cost effective, and cancel all the noise that you might actually get from all the turbines that are fluttering around your building, and finally give you a business opportunity so that you can sell the energy that you'll be harnessing at your home. So we have a video to which will show you how we be planning to make it more aesthetic for you. So this is a kinetic art installation by Net Khan. They are small little square plates, as you can see. They flutter with wind, and yeah, they let you feel the wind around you. You can see. Yeah, this is the first time you get to literally see the wind flow next to your apartment or your home. So. And yeah, we also thought of why not convert. So if it's going to be noisy, you can convert it to some rhythmic music, like a wind chime which you have in your house, something like that. And yeah, so phase 3 is where we are planning to connect all these turbines to the internet and let them communicate with each other in such a way that every turbine will know from what direction and at what speed the wind is going to come hit it. And it will be ready to receive the wind at the right directions and harness energy from it finally. Phase 4 is where so I'm a designer, he's a designer, we would like to contribute, collaborate with architects and come up with more organic buildings which will enable the wind flow more smoothly through the cities. Ideation which we did for Hackathon, and this is the first turbine model which we came up with that can be mounted onto your building walls. Then we prototyped it in about 2 days. And yeah, so the energy harnessed with one small panel, say about 1 square feet panel, would be around 1 watt. And that would be at an 8 kilometer per hour average wind velocity, which is generally seen in the 5 metropolitan cities in India in all seasons. And so how much would it cost? It would cost you around 800 rupees each of them. That's the cost of prototype. But then, yeah, when it's mass produced, it will be cheaper. It will be a capital investment of 2 lakhs for you, which I think you might break even in 2 years if you start selling the carbon credits that you get from it. And where all do you save? You save in the power transmission, IoT, HVAC. It will also help you cool your home in the turbine tower. You don't have to put up turbine towers anymore. And yeah, implementation. What is in it for you? You can, yeah, like I said, you can sell the energy that you get, and you can also sell the carbon credits. And yeah, you can share the electricity with your neighbors. And we also thought of classifying the customers on the basis of the amount of energy that they can harness. That will depend on the amount of the building space you have, the wall phase you have in your apartment. So class 1, class 2, class 3 type of customers. And yeah, the social impact. Yeah, now we have added a new parameter to the urban planners. They can also start considering the wind flow so that it's more easier for us to design turbines for those buildings. And then it's a opportunity for exterior designers and also aeronautical engineers. They can collaborate with us and help us build better turbines for future. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ashwin and Saurabh. Now we have the next team, Sanjay Kumar from Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai, and Shiv Kumar D. from Karapagam College of Engineering, Coimbatore.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is our problem statement. What we thought to do is, normally all our states' electricity departments will be slab-wise pricing. For first 100 units, per unit price will be something. For next 100 units, per unit price will be different. So, at a lot of times, people who don't know about these things will end up paying more than what they have consumed. So, for example, in Tamil Nadu itself, it is a bi-monthly billing period, and generally the number of units consumed will be around 500 units. So, for 500 units consumption, the bill will be around 1300 rupees. For 501 unit consumption, it will shoot up to 2000 rupees. This is we have got this snapshot from Tangentco, their bill calculator. See, you can see that for 500 units, it is 1330, and for 501, it is 2137. It is more than 800 rupees increase. This was the case in the neighboring states, Andhra and Karnataka too, we looked up. So, and also the normal standard meters which were provided by the government does not show the amount of a bill to the user whenever they wanted. Like in the middle of the month, he wanted to know how much bill, how much is my electricity bill, he could not know that. So we thought to, like, our solution is like not to use any high technology or no state of the art, like just make a simple electricity meter which will show the number of units consumed by the user and also the amount of the bill. Like if maybe the user in Tamil Nadu, he can put the alarm at 480 units. Like there are, like whenever the alarm buzzes, there are 4 more days to go for the next billing period. So he has 20 more units so that he can use the next 20 units in that 4 days efficiently so that he won't go more than 500 units. So that he can, there itself he can save 800 rupees. Like we have looked how many connections are there in Tamil Nadu. There are like approximately 1.4 crore electrical connections, and 70% of the connections usage will fall around the 500 category. Like these many users are like ending up paying more because they don't know, like they are going above 500 units. So like how we got the idea was like 3 months back, our maid came to us and showing the bill, electricity bill. Sir, have a look at this bill. Like every month, every 2 months, I'm paying around 1,200 rupees. Like suddenly this month it is asking me to pay 2,100. Why? Like then we gone through that, and then we got to know that like this is the thing that is happening. So like we went to our mentor, Mr. Dayal Nathan in Chennai. Like we went to him and like told about this thing, and he told, why don't you guys make a product? And a product about this, and like under the name Energy, the company. So we first started the designing process. Like we thought to do it for first the single phase homes itself. Then like we would, if it is a success, then we would have moved on to the 3 phases thing. And we didn't enter the market yet. Like we were hoping to do it soon. So we thought, like we calculated the cost of making this one device is around 700 rupees. And also we are planning to like sell it at 1,600 to 1,700 rupees, so that like even the customer manages to like limit his electricity bill before 500 this thing for 2 months, he could get his money back, like other 3 or 4 months. Like we have started making this product. It is in the implemented final stage, this thing. And also we have launched an app into the Play Store market. Like what it will do is, we got the data from the Energy Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, so that if you put your EB number into the app, it will show your usage statistics of your home in the last year. Like it will show like with some interesting analytics. And also it has a feature that whenever the electricity board plans a scheduled shutdown of power, it will notify the users in that area through the app notification, such that the power is going up from this hour to this hour, like so that the user can be ready for the this thing. Now the app has been operational in 2 states, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka for now, and we are looking to like expand it more. And this is like the app screenshots we got. Like if you put your number, it will analyze the data, this thing, and also it will notify your power cut, this thing. It will simulate the graphs so that the user can understand easily. And also, if you put your appliance-wise, whatever appliances you are using, it will track the usage patterns of your device, and so that it will suggest you how to what steps you may take so that you can reduce your power usage. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay and Shiva. Our second chief guest for today is PRK Murthy, sir. He is a Chief of Traffic and Communication at MMRDA. He holds a bachelor's in civil engineering and post-graduation in transportation engineering with over 28 years of experience. The focus of his work has been in infrastructure planning and execution, comprehensive transportation plans, evolving transport policy strategies, project evaluation, appraisal, and execution. He was Principal Coordinator for Comprehensive Transportation Study for Mumbai, carried out through World Bank assistance, one of the largest transportation studies undertaken covering all modes of transport and phased investment needs. Mr. Murthy has worked on project preparation activities of mega projects like Western Freeway Sea Link, Mumbai Trans Harbour Link, and Mumbai Metro. He had an instrumental role in Mumbai Metro Rail and India's first monorail project in Mumbai. He is presently the Director of Infrastructure and Commercial Development in Mumbai Railway Vikas Corporation. I request Sir, along with Kriti Sir, to announce the results and give away the prizes for the energy category.
Hello. Yeah. The winners are Mr. Ashwin Gandhi and Saurabh Anand. Give them a big round of applause. And the runner-ups, Mr. Sanjay Kumar and Shiv Kumar D.
A huge round of applause for the winners. Thank you, sir, and congratulations to the winners and the runners-up. Now we have a small tea break for 20 minutes, and I request you all to be back here so we can continue with the prize distribution and presentations for the transportation theme. Thank you. We have a small tea break right now. Have a small tea break right now. Please be back within 20 minutes so we have the next segment of the program.
Just check if the tea is there, VIP.
Yeah. I'm going to bring the people down. Yeah, please. No, they're already broken. People are already on the... But I can send you. Now, please.
glass also wipe करिए.
हाँ वही ना इसका निकाल स्टेज पे खड़े रहते स्पीच दे रहा है हाँ तो पहले मेरा निकाल आजा चल आजा निकालेगा जल्दी निकाल मैं ऐसे करूँगा पीछे पीछे से वो आना चाहिए वो तो मेन है शिकार भी उधर शिकार है उधर शिकार है उधर अभी उधर बस इधर
फिर तो
नहीं, अब लोग अभी आ जाएंगे चाय पी के। Just a concluding remark.
Hello everyone, I request you all to be seated. We are going to start with the program. Please be seated. We have Mr. Nagesh Singh sir. He is a senior economic advisor, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion with us. I'm going to request Murthy sir to address you guys, and then I'll request Nagesh sir to have a short speech. Thank you.
Somebody would load the presentation. Good afternoon. I thank the IIT Director and his complete team for inviting me for this beautiful session where you have the innovative minds and young generation leading the India to make in India and made in India. I have a small presentation on what makes a smart city or a smart transportation system. I would just take you briefly through what we are doing. Next. Can you change the slide? Yeah, this is, I don't think you need any explanation about Mumbai. Mumbai transport is a huge demand and there is a short supply. This one? Yeah. What is this? The capacity is limited and suburban rail is the most lifeline and with BST system, and we have been experiencing this. It kept on increasing from about 5 million in 1970s, 80s to 11 million, and it's still growing. So we really need a good city. What do you represent? A good smart city is a good transport system, a good water supply, and a smart power and other requirements. The first comes the transportation because it is the mobility of the people. So from this perspective, to complement the existing suburban system, we thought that if the 3.5 million people, if they 35 million, sorry, it's 3.5 crores. If that is the Mumbai metropolitan region demand, you really need to look at something, a different innovative system. And you can't live alone with the road system and private vehicles. Private vehicles demand, which was hardly the lowest when Mumbai, when among the 4 metropolitan cities, now it has gone beyond 20 lakhs and we expect it will touch 90 lakhs. So that's the expected. You can have a vehicle, but whether do you need to travel by your car every day for business or work trips. That's a question. If you are able to provide a good transport system, a mass transit system, then people would switch over to the trains and buses. We prepared a complementary system where within half to 1 kilometer people can have a rail-based system, be it metro or suburban rail or a light rail or a underground metro. So we are now proposing about 172 kilometers to supplement already 300 kilometers of suburban rail system. So out of this, the fast track projects, if we see, line 1 is already commissioned, about 11 kilometer, and line 3, which is fully underground, Kolaba, Bandra, Sibs, fully underground, it's under construction. It will connect the airport. And next, all the master plan corridors, 118 kilometer, now they are taken up. And the first line 2 and line 7, we are receiving the bids for line 7, that is Western Express Highway line. We will be receiving bids on February 24th. And for line 2A, between DN Nagar and Daisar, we will be receiving by March 9th. And when we say easy accessibility and safe system, we tried to experiment on the metro line 1, how an intermodal system can work better for the commuters. This is the first line, 11 kilometers completed, and this corridor is densely populated, and high-end offices have come up after the metro has commissioned. It took about six years. Actually, the construction time was supposed to be 5 years, but it's a gigantic task crossing the masjid, temples, railway tracks, and Western Express Highway. More importantly, it's a 80-meter span cable stayed bridge with so many utilities below the surface. And how do you manage the traffic around? The main concern was when 6 lakhs people get boarding or alighting at these different stations, how do you ensure the safety of the people and efficient movement without creating the traffic jams? So we created a station influence area. Let's take a case of Azad Nagar. About 100 meter by 100 meter, a station influence area is created, and about 200 meter on the side roads. And we started working out the intersections, designs, and passenger dispersal, because the people who are getting boarding and alighting at these stations are few lakhs every day. And the peak hour, it will be not less than about 50 to 60,000 people. So if this is the way the station is built, there is a traffic moving below. What it requires is relocation of the bus stops, and you can't allow the pedestrians to scatter on the roads and cross wherever they want. So the access facilities are given, lift, escalators and staircases. Then there are walkways. Then you have the 2-lane carriageway width. Then how do you keep the people a safe movement without crossing the road and creating traffic flow hindrances? So these areas, there were several auto pickup stands, bus stops. These have been relocated again. These are shown here, existing bus stops and proposed bus stops. I will show the visuals, so that will give you the better, but as a concept, I thought the young engineers should understand better in terms of how you should tackle these urban problems, because anything has to be, it is innovative and necessity in India. So we can't replicate a universal solution and find out that we can solve the problems here. Every station will have its own unique identity. So this was condition of the roads before the stations were upgraded. We have completely removed the obstructions. What do you find when you walk on the footpath in Mumbai? Normally, till 5 years back, you never used to find a continuous 10-meter walking space without undulations, without junction box, without some light pole. You are being hit by so many obstructions. So those have been all, you can see the photographs here, they have been all streamlined, and you also given the wheelchair access to the people. These are some of the photographs before and after improvement, how we have improved the system. And most of this, you can see the junction improvements where you have created a curb, and unless there is a auto pickup or bus stop, the people cannot cross the roads anywhere. So this type of guardrails are created for their safety, as well as the traffic could be better and much smoother. So we have improved the pedestrian markings. Then it is also for blind and visually impaired, special ductiles are given. Then there are people engaged in terms of volunteers who will guide the pedestrians and commuters to different stations. And there is a safety kiosks, emergency call buttons. And you can see the escalators and the people being helped here at different places. And basically we are now looking at intermodal integration in terms of every railway station will have which bus stop will take which bus is expected in the next few minutes through GPS integration we are doing. The second one we are doing is the common mobility card, where you will have one smart card and you can travel on any mode of transport. The Ministry of Railways and our Honourable Chief Minister, both of them agreed that railways will join the mainstream of having a common card for our commuters of Mumbai. Probably the National Pay Corporation is looking at that this card be used elsewhere all over the India. So it will be one bank e-purse or the prepaid card with denominations, and it can be used anywhere. So that is the compatibility we are looking at, and for these bids are invited already. I just will take you through monorail stations. This is also project which is completed, and what type of improvements we have done. We have shifted all the hawkers beyond the footpath lines and created the first ambulance, first aid. The doctors are available at the stations at the call. Thank you very much. These are what some of the improvements, how you can make the passengers move with more comfort and ease of convenience. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Nagesh Singh, sir, for a few words.
Good afternoon, everybody. It was a wonderful presentation on two specific themes, water and electricity. And the third presentation will be after I speak, and that is on infrastructure transportation. I am given to understand that the people who have won the prizes, they have done a great work, but the other participants who participated in this hackathon, their ideas are equally good, and I would request the organizers to make a compendium of all these ideas, put it on the net so that people are aware of these ideas, and if they want, they can commercialize it. We from the government are very clear that innovation, entrepreneurship is the way to go forward. The government has a very big program for encouraging startups. You would have heard the Prime Minister on 16th January, where he indicated the roadmap that the government is planning to put in place in the next 1 to 2 years. Finances are being tied up. A fund of 10,000 crores has been set up. Apart from central government, state governments are also putting in place a system to encourage startups. We have already announced a scheme for Stand Up India. So I would request all of you to generate knowledge about the programs that we have, make use of these facilities, and be job creators. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now we have the presentations by the teams for the transportation theme. The first team to be presenting is Satyam Sahu, Anuj Singh, Anurag Tomar, and Yeah, this is the three. From Krishna Institute of Engineering and Technology, Ghaziabad.
Very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Satyam. He's Anuj. He's Anurag. We are from Kite, Ghaziabad. We are pursuing BTech in Civil Engineering, second year. And our project is about user-friendly road intersection.
Now, further continuing to our presentations, I would like to introduce you to our aim for our presentation. It is basically focused on avoiding accidents at the intersections. Means at the intersections you will find three kinds of accidents taking place. One is head-on collision, other is front-rear collision, and the third one is front-side collision. Now, looking at the contributions of these accidents at the junction, you can find that front-side collisions occupy 12% of the distribution of accidents. Front-rear collision occupies 67% of the contribution, and head-on collision occupy 21% of the distribution. Now, looking at the front-side collision, why do they happen? Front-side collision basically happens because there is intersection between through motion and right turn taking place at the junction. We have avoided this in our plan by providing an extended divider on minor lane. Minor lane on extended divider basically avoids these kind of accidents by providing an extended path for a vehicle that is trying to take right turn on minor lane. And on major lane, we have provided crossover flyovers which try to avoid accident completely. They are unsignalized. Coming to front-rear collision. Front-rear collision basically take place because of lack of speed between two vehicles that are traveling consecutively. And this takes place because there is a sudden diversion taking place on the road, on which a traffic traveling in same direction is traveling. This we have avoided by providing extra length for the diversion that are taking place, which are not sudden to encounter. In that way, we have avoided rear collision. And head-on collision basically don't take place on intersections because if you see at signalized intersection, then they will have a separate channel for particular traffic that is traveling in a direction. So you will not find any vehicle coming from opposite direction. That is avoided at the signalized junction, but we have avoided signalizing our junction and avoiding these accidents as well. Now moving on to next. There are also single vehicle crashes taking place at the junction, like rollover of your vehicle or collision with some object or collision with a pedestrian or non-motorized vehicles. So looking at vehicle and pedestrian collisions, because rollover and object collisions are due to failures that are caused due to mishappening taking place due to carelessness of driver. Considering to the pedestrian collisions, they basically are, there are 58% chances of pedestrian vehicle collision because of the flaws in the design that are available at the intersection. So we have designed our plan which will avoid these pedestrian vehicle collisions, conflicts. This has been avoided by providing a central duct beneath the ground which is connected by 4 passages that are opened from the sides of the roads. In this way, the pedestrian traffic coming will be diverted into the subway, a type of duct that is created beneath the ground, and will have exit from the another one. Now, I would like to invite my friend Satyam for further discussions.
So innovation. This is basically a design which consists of a major lane and a minor lane. On the major lane, we have provided the flyovers crisscrossing each other. Both the flyovers we have made are of same length. We have used the concept that when one of the flyover reaches its maximum height, below that point we will start the second flyover. So they will have a clear gap between them. We have prioritized the major lane, so keeping in mind flow of vehicles in all the three directions, that is left, right, and through. So the vehicles moving in the major lane will move from the flyover to take right turn and have a through movement. And for the left turn, they will move down only. And on the minor lane, we have provided extended divider, so that will prevent the vehicles coming on the major lane and moving straight.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Just now I'm going to what are the advantages of our design. Our advantage is there is no traffic light in our design, and there is no intersection points, and there is no chances of collisions, and there is no pollutions. And as we know, everything is not going to be perfect, but there is a one limitations. We have provided two descenders that covers a more area. That is only one limitations, and there are lots of. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Thank you. Next, we have the students of CEPT University, Srujal Patel, Vishwamitra, Krupal Sharma, and Kinjal Prajapati.
So, good evening, all the members present here. I am Shrujal Patel, and these are my colleagues Vishwamistry, Kinjal Prajapati, and Krupal Sharma. And we are a bunch of urban planners from CEPT University. Our topic of study was equitable street design. So, first we started with distinguishing what are roads and what are streets. So roads are basically designed for speed, mobility, and movement of vehicles, whereas the other component of roads also exists, which is known as streets, and it also has a life in it. So our focus should not be only on movement of vehicles, but it should be on movement of peoples from one place to another. And so here is the demographic data showing that people in India want to walk, but unfortunately the infrastructure conditions are such that they don't allow walking. And the reasons which encouraged us to choose these topics were there are various kinds of users on roads with all the ages, all disabilities, NMT users, and a large economy going around the roads, which is informal economy. And in this urbanizing era, there is less amount of open spaces in the cities. In this case, streets act as an open spaces for people. And another demographic data also suggests that a lot of accidents which occur counts for 8% of pedestrians and non-motorized vehicles. So roads are not an entire separate entity. It also has a large thing around it, which is also known as land use and informal economy.
Yeah, so our project is based on the design perspective, and it deals with the prioritizing user group and then designing the street accordingly. So our main aim of the projects are to make street pedestrian friendly through design and space distribution, then to promote NMT movement and encourage public transport usage, and include phase of pedestrian in the signal cycle. So how do we go about our project? We selected a case study on junction, which is in Ahmedabad, and it is a part of our ulterior road of Ahmedabad. So then we study the existing situation around the junction, in which we study the land use, traffic flow movement, then encroachment on the road and its reason, and on-street parking condition. So these are some issues on the, currently issues on the junction, like lack of pedestrian infrastructure, congestion, etc.
So this is, So this is our junction, Sajadan Junction in Ahmedabad. After analyzing the issue, we came to know there are the issues which are interlinked within. Example, the pedestrian can't walk on the sidewalk because the vehicles are parked on it. A pedestrian can cross the road because there is a very heavy traffic movement. So after considering the land use around the junction, we came to know there is big institutions and a big patch of a commercial. So we consider the users of the junction and we provided a lane according to the users. Next. So here we provided a lane for a pedestrian. We want a pedestrian friendly. So on the sidewalk, we provided a design. We can provide a design so the children can use the sidewalk as the puzzles and all the things we can do on the sidewalk. We provided a cycle lane as the institution is there. We have a public transportation going in between. So our concept is basically on the things which are going around the junction. It is designed according to the activities are happening on the junction. As we have informal activities going around the junction, we allocated space for the vendors and we had a paid parking for the vehicles to park as we have a commercial building near the junction.
We also work on the signal cycle. In existing cycle, each phase get 30 seconds. What we did that we divide signal phase into 40-20 seconds. What we observed that the north-south direction has a maximum movement of the vehicle. So we provide 40 seconds for north and south direction and then 20 seconds for other roads. Then the last phase for the pedestrian. As my friend earlier mentioned, that we have a lot of institute like schools and colleges nearby the area. So so the more number of cyclists we found. So we provide a 40-second phase for the pedestrian and for the cyclist. A person can walk 1.2 meter in a second. So we provide such a cycle phase so that the older person can easily cross the road in a 40 seconds.
So at the end, we would like to conclude that India is still a developing country. So rather than having a notion of Western countries and designing our roads for cars, we should take each and every user of the road into consideration while designing a street. And the major point we would like to point out here is the land use around the roads also play a major role in design. So each and every road cannot have a similar kind of sections. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Ajay sir. I request him to felicitate and give out the awards. Sir is a Director of Systems at Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation Limited. He has an experience of more than 32 years and has worked at Indian Railway Services of Signal Engineers in various capacities and Konkan Railway Corporation Limited as the principal head of Signal and Telecom Department. Sir has an accident-free railway service record with rich and vast experience in construction and maintenance of railway systems for new lines, line capacity enhancements, and use of information and communication technology for safety enhancements and computerized train operations. Sir, I request you to give away the awards.
Hello. I'm happy to announce the winners for this transportation. Winners are Satyam Sahu, Anuj Singh, and Anurag Tomar. Please give them a good round of applause. Runners-up are Shrujal Patel, Vishwa Mistry, Krupal Sharma, Kinjal Prajapati.
Congratulations. Now I would request Sir to address the gathering.
Animation, I will just tell and then it can be clicked. On the outset, I am thankful to IIT Bombay, which happens to be my alma mater also, Director IIT and the senior faculty, as well as the other participants, dignitary on dais. It is a good eye-opening for all of us on the dais as elsewhere also on the in front seat to have such a good innovative ideas which have come from the young brains. And it is in fact the ideas presented in all the three subjects we have found to be of high potential and quality. Coming specific to the transportation sector, as Mr. Murthy has already given you a bird's eye view of all the metro projects which are coming up in Mumbai. Since I have been entrusted with the responsibility of implementing Mumbai Metro Line 3, there is a small animation which I will be just clicking for your view, which is of about 2.5 minutes. So you can have a glimpse of what is planned in Mumbai Metro Line 3. So I will request to click the animation. You can enjoy the same. You can make the volume also of the animation.
public transport in Mumbai, the government of Maharashtra decided to take up the ambitious Mumbai Metro project to complement the suburban railways and to ensure safe, efficient and world-class transit facilities. A master plan of 9 corridors covering 146.5 kilometers to be implemented in 3 phases was prepared to ensure MRTS system within 1 to 2 kilometers approach. Metro Line 1 and Line 2 are under implementation in Mumbai, and the Versova-Andheri-Ghatkopar corridor is getting completed this year. Metro Line 3 connecting Kolaba, Bandra, Seeps with 27 stations is proposed to be implemented with Japanese International Cooperation Agency loan assistance and equity participation from Government of India and Government of Maharashtra. The project will be implemented through Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation Limited. Considering the narrow widths of arterial roads, high-density developments all along the roads, and presence of several old and heritage structures, Line 3 is proposed as fully underground system. The line connects the central business districts of World Trade Center, Nariman Point, Bandra Kurla Complex, and Seeps MIDC in Andheri, and the domestic and international terminals of Mumbai Airport. It also connects areas like Worli, Prabhadevi, Mumbai University that are presently not served by any mass transit systems. It has interchanges with Western Railway, Central Railway, Metro Line 1 and 2 and monorail for improving city-wide connectivity. Together, Metro Line 1, Line 2 and Line 3 will cater to 45 lakh trips daily by 2031. Metro Line 3 stations and their integration will cater to easy transfer of commuters from other modes. Stations are located either below the road or under open plots. Passengers will access the underground station via stairs, escalators or lifts. All metro stations will have world-class amenities and will be designed for emergency evacuation. Metro Line 3 will ensure world-class public transport system to Mumbai. Together, Government of Maharashtra and MMRDA are striving to improve travel conditions and quality of life in Mumbai.
Thank you. Now this is the animation which has to see the light of the day. So it's a dream which has to come true. But while doing so, as appropriate to today's event, there are a lot of innovation opportunities. So what I have shown you is a dream, but while making it true, some of the points which I would like to put forward to these young brains is what we need in transport is a seamless connectivity. We need seamless travel. We want to make the travel safer. We want to make it secure. That means security threats are real nowadays. How to make it secure? How to make it safe? So we are trying to work on a concept of making a travel comfortable at an affordable price. Now these are two very challenging, conflicting requirements. You want comfortable travel at an affordable price. So there the innovation comes, how we bring down the expenditure on procurement, expenditure on operations and maintenance, expenditure on energy consumption. So these are some good areas where innovation has a lot of things to do, how the transport can be made customer friendly. So whether we use green initiatives, whether we use regenerative energy, whether we provide good road intersection, as one of the presentation was about, we avoid collisions because people are getting transported from one mode of transport to another mode of transport. People are coming from the suburban lines, they are getting into the metro lines, they are getting into the buses. So we give seamless interconnectivity, which is a very important in the planning of any urban transport infrastructure. So we have a website, MMRCL.com, where we are present on Facebook, we are present on Twitter. We look forward for certain good ideas to come from these young, dynamic, challenging brains, which can be taken into consideration, because right now we are in the planning phase of certain implementations. So this is the right time, an opportunity, as I look at it, from the institutions like the premier institution, IIT Bombay here locally. There are a lot of good other institutions in Mumbai and around, because whatever is coming in one metro can be replicated in other metros across India. So like you see, Nagpur metro is coming, Lucknow metro is coming, or Kochi metro is coming up. Bangalore, Hyderabad, they are already, Chennai operational, on the verge of getting operationalized. Delhi is already a pioneer. Jaipur is there. So like this, Ahmedabad is coming up. Lot of metros and opportunities are there. So whatever innovative ideas which can get into in any metro can replicate. And finally, we are the beneficiaries, because if the innovation results into reduced expenses on procurement as well as its long-term maintenance, definitely the pricing of ticket can be controlled, which is of common interest to all of us. So I look forward to this kind of interactions from the people like you, and all of you are welcome to give your ideas, suggestions to us, and that can be a good interaction between the metro and the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we have the Popular Choice Awards. These awards will be given to one team in each of the 3 categories. To give away these awards, I request Director Sir, Chakravarti Sir and Kriti Sir to be... So starting with the water category, we have a team from IIT Delhi who's won this award, Vivek Kumar Singh, Vaibhav Kumar and Piyush Agarwal. A huge round of applause. Next, we have the team from Energy Team. It's the same team who won the competition. It's Ashwin Gandhi and Saurabh Anand from IIT Kanpur. And the winners in the transport category are Abhishek DS and Roshan S from JNNCE, Shashank Krishna from PES University, and Suhas Ramji from PES ITM. Congratulations. Now I request Professor Chakravarti to felicitate all our guests. The mementos have been designed and made at IDC, that's Industrial Design Center at IIT Bombay.
इसका नाम दी यस लाइन में होगी ना
So we're extremely glad to have this hackathon at IIT Bombay. It actually, also made all the professors learn a lot during this hackathon. And the memento has also been made in IIT Bombay. So we, went ahead and, did all the 3D printing and also the panel making and everything. Professor Kumresan, who's our colleague standing here, lift your hand, that will be supporting in all the events. And I'll now quickly hand over the mementos to our esteemed guests. We start with Mr. P.R.K. Murthy. And after the, कितने हैं? 3 हैं. Yeah. Now, Mr. Ajay Kumar Bhatt. 3 हैं अपने पास. कम बोलो. And on behalf of our, Professor Sudarshan Iyengar, I invite Mr. Nagesh Singh to collect the award and the memento. So, I take this opportunity to actually tell you what we learned from the students. In the design school, we started teaching our engineering students innovation, and we realized that innovation is not possible till you don't work from your heart. So we just came up with this very interesting formula after years of experience of innovation. We call it the 7 concerns of innovation. Till you're not concerned, innovation doesn't happen. And we saw those concerns in all the hackathon participants who were with us, during all these 1 week. So the first concern, it's like a formula. When you teach our students always want formulas. So we said we'll get you a formula for innovation. And this formula is this 7 C's. And it only comes from concerns, it comes from the heart, it comes from your whole personality, it comes from your whole being. So the first C is the cause. That is, you have to stand for a cause, you have to stand for the problem, and you have to have that cause in your mind that you need to solve this. So the cause is the first concern, where you take it like a mandate. The second concern is the context. A number of times we forget the context. The context becomes the core for any innovation to happen, and that becomes the second concern. The third concern is comprehension. A number of times we have the cause, we have the context, but we actually don't assimilate and comprehend what is actually needed for the user, what is actually needed for the technology. So that becomes the third concern. And the fourth concern is the check, the roadmap. A number of times we have everything, but the roadmap is wrong. You go the wrong way. So the roadmap or the checklist becomes the most important, and which is the fourth, which is called the check. And the fifth one is the creative part, which is the creation, where you come up with various ideas, concepts, mock-ups, use all your creative strengths and come up with various ideas. It's very important that for every problem, you come up with at least 50 ideas. So this is the plurality of ideas makes your innovation happen very well. So that becomes the most important and the creative aspect, which is the fifth, which is the creation. And the creativity takes a jump when you do the crafting, and that is the sixth concern, where the crafting has to sort of mimic all your ideas into mock-ups, prototypes, and you see a lot of those things happening with all these people over here. And the seventh concern is the connection. Finally, you stood for a cause. Have you connected back with the user? Take these into production, make multiple pilot productions, and take it into the market. And that is the connection. And when the cause and the connection match together, you have innovation in the field, and that becomes very, very critical. So these are the 7 C's, and we're following this a lot. You can Google my course ID 401, and you'll see all our students' innovations on YouTube. Thank you very much. And with this, I invite my panel members to come to the floor to see the videos which are going to run at the back of the Hackathon, International Hackathon team.
Thank you. Now we have
Design School at IIT Bombay is well placed to tap into the research and technology strengths and come up with innovative solutions. We present to you some of our achievements, ranging from creating livelihoods for bamboo craftsmen to designing electronic voting machines.
Text input in Indian languages has generally been pretty poor. India is perhaps one of the lowest per capita text input amongst all the countries in the world. So our languages receive the least of text input compared to all other languages. Swarachakra is one of the products that actually turned out to be the best amongst our evaluations for touchscreen devices. So we launched it on the Android platform. Currently, Swarachakra has more than 7.5 lakh downloads across 12 Indian languages. And it gets about 2,000 downloads a day, fresh downloads a day currently. So in most Indian languages, very often a vowel follows a consonant and it forms a different shape or a different glyph. And people struggle to put the vowel after the consonant. So what Swarachakra does is when you touch a particular consonant, it shows a chakra of vowels around that consonant. So all the user has to do is drag his finger in the direction of the desired vowel. So that's one thing it does. The other thing that it does, it shows a preview of conjuncts. Conjuncts are particularly hard for people to type in Indian languages. So when the user selects, so one of the options in the chakra is to select a conjunct. So when the user selects the conjunct for a particular consonant, that consonant appears in conjunct with all the other consonants as a preview. And then you can select that conjunct, or you also can add vowel modifier to that consonant.
India being the largest democracy, conducting elections is not an easy task. You have a very large number of people. You need to use a lot of manpower, resources, along with time. So I think rightly the Election Commission in the late 80s thought that if you can use a bit of computing and electronics and put together a system to kind of solve this problem, it would take care of many things. Me and Professor Rao, we in fact took up this project. But one insight which I think has been predominantly a good point of our design was that we realized you can have electronic security, okay, which is typically non-visible. And for the people, they needed a security system which was actually visible to them.
Major problem was that we have to make it a product which is simple to operate, because it was earlier a steel box in which people used to just put votes. Now it's an electronic voting machine. Now we wanted to remove that fear of the machine first. So it was made into a simple operative box which is as simple as TV. So this was our major achievement, what we have achieved. So in that process, we redefined the security in terms of not just steel and all that, but in terms of visibility, where we lock each part and where we seal each part in front of everybody.
And I think one of the big reasons it has stood the test of time till now, it works even now perfectly well, is because of this. People can, slowly have been able to trust the system. And of course, it gave all the advantage of having an electronic system. Like it saved time. Elections can be declared in a jiffy at the same time. Yeah, it doesn't take time to do that.
I noticed on the streets of Mumbai that the post boxes are rusted and the doors were dilapidated. And I imagined that the letters would be surely spoiled. It was a shame that design could not make a difference in such an important product of the country. This made us take this project at IDC-IIT Bombay, and I and my students visited the post office and met the Chief Postmaster General, who gave us this one-line brief of designing a maintenance-free post box. With this input, we came up with this new design of maintenance-free post box, which is made up of stainless steel and using contemporary manufacturing processes, and also having this very, very interesting and user-friendly feature of a common key for the complete locations and easy posting slot. And this became very successful and popular, and the India Post has launched it now all over the country.
Bamboo is the fastest growing biomass. Whole world was interested. There is an organization called INBAR, International Network for Bamboo and Rattan. They are all interested to look at bamboo. We have a tradition. 13.5 lakh people work in bamboo craft in India, and they have already the traditional skills. Now, other challenge was, how do we upgrade the skills? So we introduced tools, molds, and working methods. We had workshops in the villages, more than 30 to 40 workshops we did all over the country. So how do we reposition the bamboo craft into a modern context, into a contemporary markets? This has been one challenge, and all our designers got very excited because it is a challenging thing, and very Western students, many Western students come here to participate in my elective on bamboo craft.
ONGC and NID approached me and asked me to design this next generation petrol pump because I had this experience of designing petrol pumps for the last 2 decades, starting from the Z-line petrol pump, which is very popular in the country and it mimics a dance form, and the bullet dispenser, which actually mimics a Nokia phone, and that also is very, very successful and popular. So we started this work together as a collaborative innovation project. So through this collaboration, we actually developed a very interesting petrol pump, which is user-friendly and also has this handheld terminal where the driver can see the display in front of his eyes by moving it to his close proximity, as well as the side flow indicator where you can see the flow of petrol and you get to know how much petrol you're getting. So this pump was an overall good-looking oval pump, which was well appreciated all over the world.
When I started to design the rupee symbol, I had done a lot of research trying to understand how currencies have evolved in our country and what kind of symbols and icons were used on the coins, right from the Kanishka period to Gupta period. And I also studied a lot of Indian imageries, and because one of the brief given was that the symbol should reflect the Indian tradition, the culture and ethos of our country. And since our country is a multicultural society, and where there are so many languages, so many scripts, so many varieties of people. So I wanted to create something which unifies all of them and try to make a symbol that addresses everybody, and a symbol for a common man. And that was my objective. So what I did was try to incorporate the Devanagari script, the letter R, which is kind of an abbreviation of Rupiah. And I also did blend the Latin script, which is the English capital letter R. So the symbol is kind of an abbreviation of both the Devanagari script as well as the Latin script, R for Rupiah and R for rupees. So both the way it kind of denotes the Indian currency. The reason to blend both the script is to give it an universal appeal, because it is also going to be used by the international audience. So I want everybody to understand what the symbol stands for. If you look at the top line and also the line which cuts across the letter, if you combine these, the space in between them will kind of give you a tricolor flag, an abstract symbolic representation of our flag, because the flag is the only element which is not biased towards any of this region, culture or religion or creed and so on and so forth, because it is something which every Indian will be proud of, and it kind of represents every Indian.
Mumbai Rail Map is a project by our students. It is the first usable, colorblind friendly and a complete rail network map of Mumbai. Rail map is not a product. It is the missing infrastructure that the Mumbai city needs.
Now we'd like to showcase work by some of our young innovators from around the world who have come up with interesting innovations in hackathon-like events. So we have a team from University of Edinburgh who have come all the way to participate in hackathon in IIT Bombay. Please have a huge round of applause for the team.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Simon. This is Andrea, Lisa, and Victoria. We're from the University of Edinburgh. We've come for the hackathon this week at the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Go next slide, please. So we are working on the energy theme, and the surrounding issue there is the Indian energy deficit, which is the shortcome of production versus consumption of electricity. Now, we looked at some projections on sort of whether this is due to be the case in the future as well, which unfortunately it is, which means that this is an energy issue that needs to be tackled in the very near future. There is a demand for electricity that is projected to grow at an alarming rate, both in the domestic sector as more Indians who are currently not on the electricity grid come online, and in the industrial sector as a result of an increase in manufacturing. So in recent years, we've seen this increase in internet-connected devices. This is explosive exponential increase due to the rise of the Internet of Things. Now, these are small devices that are connected to the internet that you don't directly interact with all the time. They're not tablets, phones, and computers. They're just regular devices that now suddenly can connect to the internet. That's anything from air conditioning systems to light bulbs to security systems and so on. There are two big issues with this at the moment. First of all, the majority of use, almost all of the use, is through teleoperation, where in the house, for example, if you have these wireless light bulbs, you can turn them on and off, you can change the colors, you can dim them, but it's still you doing it. And secondly, there's this skewed focus on just homes. It seems that public buildings such as this, offices, and so on are largely forgotten, and they're one of the big drainers of electricity.
So, the way we thought of solving this problem is through an autonomous software system. How many times did each of you left your home without turning the lights off, without turning the AC off? Well, probably many, or at least for me, that's true. Well, we're trying to take the human out of the equation and incorporate all the appliances in the home or office into a system that turns them on and off according to whether or not there's someone using them. Therefore, we're increasing the efficiency of the energy consumption. What we're targeting are appliances that are present in every modern household or office, such as air conditioning, TVs, lights. We're tracking position using the Bluetooth signal of your phone, and we're using sensors such as estimate beacons to detect whether or not there's a person around. If there is a person around, then obviously all the appliances will be turned on according to their preferences. Otherwise, they will be turned off. How is this solution impacting the user? Well, you don't actually feel it, but you just don't waste the time of taking your phone out to turn something off. It just turns itself off. But in the long run, it impacts the community as we're bridging the gap between the energy production and the energy consumption in India.
So our system has three main constituent parts. The first of which is the positioning of users, where we track where people are in a home or in an office space. We built this weekend. It works. Now, what that does is it tracks you based on some sensors in your home. The easiest of these is something like Bluetooth low energy beacons that you simply attach to your walls, and then they track where you are with your phone. Now, to take this far further, we can use machine learning, which is a relatively new concept, or at least new in the sense that it's widely accessible now, in order to constantly improve the system such that what you use on day one and what you use 2 years down the line are not the same product, where the machine learns from your use, learns from how it is used, learns from its environment, and progressively gets better by constantly improving. The third step would be to integrate with other services, such as with a calendar service, in order to understand what events are going to take place where before they actually do. So this weekend at the hackathon, as we weren't able to plug directly into IITs, air conditioning, wireless, etc., we built these two mock rooms on breadboards with mock AC systems and mock lighting, and you would move between them and they would each turn off or on in turn. Deployment can be done to new builds quite easily. New builds are far more likely nowadays, and certainly in the future, to come with internet-connected sockets, internet-connected appliances already fitted. And there, we would just deploy our product as it is intended to be widely compatible with just about any sensor or any actuator you throw at it. Retrofitting is fortunately also possible. There are many of these smart devices just able on the market that you can just buy anywhere, and they would be able to be plugged in, since we have a set of standards and frameworks that allow a lot of these Internet of Things devices to seamlessly communicate. Thank you very much.
The next presentation is from Ashray Malhotra and team from IIT Bombay. His unique innovation won the 10-minute million contest at the Entrepreneurship Summit IIT Bombay and received on-the-spot funding of 1.5 million rupees. Please welcome Ashray.
What makes your movie theater experience good? Is it the seats, is it the big display, or is it the sound? Sound is very, very crucial to our movie experience. The primary reason why we go to watch movies in theaters over experiencing it in just our rooms is sound. Sound theaters have fairly good sound effects. You can hear sound from front, from back, from left and right. But how close is it to reality? Imagine you're in amidst rain. Can your sound experience in movies ever recreate anything close to that? Your raindrops are close to you, away from you, above your umbrella. Current sound experiences come nowhere close to recreating that. And that is what we aim to change. Before we come to that, how have sound experiences historically changed? We started with a mono speaker, which is one sound source and everyone listens to it. Then we went to stereo speakers, one on the left, one on the right, so that you at least have the left and right effect. The current state-of-art commercial is 5.1. You have sound from front, back, left and right. But that's currently the state-of-art. What next? What is a mecca of sound? It's probably concerts. The reason you go to concerts is so that you can experience music in a form that you cannot experience anywhere else. But how good are concerts? The sound systems of concerts have only become louder and louder with time. That's the only change that happened. You have two big speakers on the left and the right of the stage, and you always hear sound from them. You don't have any effects, no surround sound effect, nothing like that. No immersive experience, it's just loud music. And we want to fundamentally change that. What we have invented is a technology that connects thousands of speakers which are surrounded all around you to give you the most immersive experience that you can possibly have. This is the ultimate level of surround sound that you can possibly get. This is an IITB patented technology, and we are a group of IITB students who are working on this. So all of this is not just a cool theory. We actually tested this out in Convocation Hall on the 12th October 2015, where we connected 280 mobile phone speakers, so that we can test whether hearing from so many speakers sounds good or not. The feedback that we got was amazing. One of the participants walked up to us and said that his experience was magical. It was that feedback which encouraged us to take this product from just a cool prototype stage to a full-blown commercial product. But that was done on mobile phones. We wanted to make this a very, very user-friendly experience so that everyone in the concert uses this. We believe that this is the next generation of concerts that you'll experience. We are currently working on a wearable speaker on something like what I'm wearing right now. So all of these speakers are distributed to people in the concerts. So if there are 10,000 people who are attending concerts, you have 10,000 speakers surrounding all around you. Imagine sound coming from not left, not right, and you cannot point out where the sound is coming from. You are essentially a part of the speaker itself. It's an experience it's a feeling which is very difficult to express in words, but everyone who has experienced it has given us very, very positive feedback. This is made in India, and I want to emphasize that this is an inherently international product. We plan to take it across the globe because concerts is not just an Indian thing. If anyone finds this idea interesting or wants to work with us, please get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashray. Now we have two virtual showcases from University of Illinois, Urbana and Northeastern University, Boston.
Hello everyone, I am Udit Bhatia, a PhD student in the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department at Northeastern University, Boston. I am working with Professor Honourable, the Principal Investigator of Sustainability and Data Sciences Laboratory at Northeastern University. We are extremely grateful for this opportunity to showcase glimpses of our ideas for this Make in India initiative. Enjoy the presentation.
I request Professor Kumresan and Chaitra ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. I am Kumresan.
I'm Chaitra Bahuman.
We are from the Hackathon team of IIT Bombay, and it's a pleasure to be here to give the vote of thanks at the end of this ceremony. And I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Sudarshana Iyengar, Mr. P.R.K. Murthy, Mr. Ajay Kumar Bhatt, and Mr. Nagesh Singh to have come here and grace the occasion. And I would like to thank our director, Devang Kakar, Professor Devang Kakar, Professor Kriti Ramamritam, and Professor Chakravarti, who have been the backbone of the whole event, and the brains, of course. And you want to thank?
Sincere thanks to all the participants who have come from all over the country and abroad. You've been an amazing lot. It was a pleasure hosting you all. I thank our student volunteers who work day in and day out to put together this event at the Hackathon at IIT Bombay. Sincere thanks to the CII team for the support they've extended to us in the registration process and also the logistics of the event today. Thanks to all the teams from the University of Illinois and the Northeastern University in Boston and the University of Edinburgh for their global hackathon showcases. Thank you all for being a wonderful audience and cheering our winners today. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
I just want to mention two people's names. They're all here, Chaitra and